never be long. I gotta be
I'm Joe Polito. This is Celebrity Talk. We've kept the details of this interview concealed, as well as the location, until now. Seated next to me is Tony Napoli, or as he is known by friends and the FBI, Tony Nap. He is the son of one of the most powerful and respected organized crime leaders of the modern era. Tony's father was Genovese family capo James Jimmy Nap Napoli, a mob kingpin who ruled over the largest gambling empire in America for almost 40 years. And I'd like to introduce now Tony Nap. Tony, thank you so much for giving us opportunity to talk to you today, and I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Joe. And it's nice of you to invite me here, and it's nice of you to show some interest in my true story about my lifestyle and the 9 different lives I lived, and thanking my father who kept me alive.
You know, I just let everybody know a little about your father. Aside from being the son of Jimmy Nap, what was your tie-in with the mob?
My tie with the mob was I was Jimmy Nap's son, and I was always introduced to other mob guys with titles, always as Jimmy Nap's son, never as Anthony Napoli, my real name. And that went on for years and years. Until today, people see me, they say, "Oh, hi, you're Jimmy Nap's son, aren't you?" You know. So my ties with the mob was I was well respected because of that, but you have to still be in character, true to yourself, with integrity and with dignity, to be accepted by the mob guys, especially the bosses, even though you're the son of an underboss. My father was considered a capo, but he employed 300 families. That means he employed over 300 men in the number business in the 5 boroughs. So therefore, he was well respected and was their Don as well as my Don, because without my father, they could have never paid their rent or their mortgages, so he gave them something to do. He showed them how to make 25% on every dollar they turned into him to the people at warehouses, at retail stores, average working men and women that wanted to play the number and not have to worry about paying income tax if they won.
Well, you know, you wrote an incredible book, which I read and I couldn't put down. And it was about your father and the life you had with Jimmy Nap. Can you tell us how your dad got started and maybe how he first met Al Capone?
Well, when my father was a young teenager, he was considered a prodigal son, relating to me later on in life when I was born. And after I was born, I became a prodigal son as well to him and my mother, because I didn't listen to him. I didn't want to take orders. And what happened was, the stories that were told to me by my aunts and uncles, my father came from a family of 8 children, 6 sisters, 1 brother, and himself. And his father struggled, and his father wanted him to be a mason tender and help build tunnels as a groundhog and as a construction worker building buildings in New York City and high-rises. My father, when he was 15 years old, well, actually 14 when he got out of grammar school, he never went to school after that, and he brought with him some men that were close friends of his when they were 14 years old till the day he died. And till the day they died, they always associated with him, and he gave them something to do to make a living. Most of them were controllers in his number business. Most of them were collectors. They weren't tough guys, though, but they were able to collect the money because they knew Jimmy Nap sent them, and they weren't about to mess with them. And they were nice individuals who had regular jobs as well as working for my father for extra money that they were able to survive on. And so the relationship I had, close relationship in the mob, I was accepted by bosses and restaurants. I got the red carpet treatment, and I decided that when my father went to jail a few times, one the last time when he was 65 years old till he was 72, That was a 7-year stretch he did for gambling without a license, or promoting gambling without a license, and he was sentenced under the RICO Act that tied up his townhouse, worth over $2.5 million at the time. Not one penny could he have left for anybody because the government detached it because of his back income tax. And I was proposed at one time by Fat Tony Salerno when my father was in jail, because I went out and got some of the number business back that left him while he was in jail, because his supervisors, who were also blood-related relatives, screwed around with the money and gambled every day, every day, every day. I won't mention them by name because they're alive, and not only that, they have family. And there's no reason to condemn them, because I, too, spent money and used money that belonged to my father as well. However, my father always complimented me and said, if you do your own business, you're accepted, but you'll never work for me. There's only one tough guy in his family, and that's me, meaning himself. And he meant the Napoli family, not the Genovese family. And therefore, he never used me, so I had to go out and get my own business when he went to jail, loan sharking, number business, and I was accepted by the mob because I went out after the controllers in the number business left the blood-related relatives because they weren't paying them on time. I went out and bombed their clubs in Bedford-Stuyvesant. I went out and had my men, and we worked them over, and I got the business back, and I was complimented by Fat Tony Salerno, who put me on the honor roll. When my father got out of jail, he took me off the honor roll, and he said, "You're my burden, not theirs. And the only time you'll ever be recognized in any family would be in the Napoli family, and no other family. You're above all that." He always complimented me, and he kept me in gambling casinos, legalized gambling casinos. Of course, I had the knowledge of crap tables, baccarat tables, how to organize, how to disorganize, and whatnot. Matter of fact, there was a time when the FBI said, in Vegas, they walked me off the floor at Caesar's Palace and said, "You're a member of organized crime." And I said, that's a compliment, because I'm so damn disorganized, you have no idea.
Whether I'm right or whether I'm wrong, whether I find a place in this world or never belong, I gotta be me. I gotta be me. What else can I be?